All right, cool. I'll put the right there on it.
Make sure this is right. We already started. All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we like to give all honor, glory, praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakadas. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, to the Vayash Dabadat, the house of David. Slakia. This is Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp, coming to you through the will and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, out here to proclaim the downfall of America. All right, and what's actually going on. All right, as you see in these wars and rumors of wars, you're starting to understand that, hey, this is the time that the very Bible speaks of. All right, so once again, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the scripts. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true children of Israel. All right, you're Yahweh, who the world ignorantly calls God. All right, and Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. You are the chosen people. All right, you're a special, peculiar people unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right.
Romans 9, verse 4, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law and the service of God Yahweh and the promises.
God, who are Israelites, to who pertaineth the adoption. All right, that adoption, all right, was made by the covenant. All right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the only ones who will see salvation. All right, and it's only 1/3 of our nation. All right, 1/3 of our nation are the only ones who will see what the world calls the rapture. All right, nobody else is able to receive the laws, statutes, and commandments. Nobody else received the promise besides the so-called Negroes, and Latinos, and Native Americans. Okay, thus saith the Bible.
And whose father's line go back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
God,
because some of you, Emma Abad say, there's chocolate covered Edomites.
God. And if you don't know who the Edomites are, it's the so-called white man. All right, all other nations outside of the nation of Israel, you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, whose father's line goes back. All right, every other nation is a heathen nation unto Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, you're not of the same cloth. All right, we are different nations. There's 18 nations in the Bible. All right, and if you're not of the nation of Israel, then you're not of a nation that sees salvation.
Psalms 147 and 19, it says, he showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them.
God, all right? Nobody else knows the judgment of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right? Nobody else has dealt with them. All right? He doesn't care about anyone else. Go to Amos 3 and 7. All right? You already got it? It's gone.
3
and 1. Slack. 3 and 1. Yeah.
This is Amos chapter 3 and verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord hath spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all families of earth.
You only have I known out of all the families out of the earth. All right, out of every family that is on the earth, he only knows the nation of Israel. All right, if your father's line goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American. All right. I gotta read something. This is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6. 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 56. And it says, as for the other people which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. God, because we all come from Adam, right? All nations, all right, were on the earth together at one point in time. All right, when we first started out. But Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai put the breath of life in the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are Israelites, all right, whose father's line goes back. All right, that's why it is only Israel that is important.
Verse 57, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
Come on, read that again.
Verse 57, and now, O Lord, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and to devour us.
Behold these heathen, all right? These other nations, all right? Whether they be Chinese, whether they be Japanese, whether they be white, all right? Whether they be Arabic, it doesn't matter. Yahweh Shem Yahushai likened you unto heathens, all right? And you're now over us from our disobedience, all right? Because the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans disobeyed the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Bible, all right? Who the Bible is for, our heritage book. Got Exodus 19.
Deuteronomy 7.
God.
Deuteronomy 7 and 6. For thou art a holy people. Deuteronomy 7 verse 6. For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy power. The Lord thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
God. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai chose the nation of Israel, all right? Chose the nation of Israel to be that special people from that covenant, all right? When you seen, most people have seen the movie The Ten Commandments, all right? When Israel came unto getting the law, statutes, and commandments, and the blood was sprinkled on the book, that was the covenant, all right? The law, statutes, and commandments belong to the nation of Israel. All right. Therefore, the promises belong to the nation of Israel. Salvation belongs to the nation of Israel. It belongs to no one else.
I got a precept back up. All right. This is you go?
No, he's backing up precept, and then you pull that next.
This is Ecclesiastes 10 and verse 7. It says, I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants on the earth. All right, because you other nations are over the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right, for the disobedience, once again, that we our disobedience that we did unto Yahweh Shem Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. All right.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 3. And Moses went up unto the power, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel.
The house of Jacob and the children of Israel. All right. The house of Jacob and the children of Israel. This was the power. All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai giving Moses a commandment to tell who? Once again, started from the top.
Exodus chapter 19, verse 3. And Moses went up into the power, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel. Verse 4, Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bear you on eagle's wings, and brought you unto myself.
God, so Yahweh Shem Yahushai brought us unto himself, a possession belonging unto himself. I brought you unto myself. All right, that is a possessive term. All right, go ahead.
Verse 5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
All right, if you obey my voice indeed, you will be a peculiar treasure unto me. All right, so this was the covenant that was made. All right, so when we made that covenant, we were that peculiar treasure. All right, but there was a clause. All right, there was a clause in the contract. Go ahead and get Deuteronomy. You can drop that. Get Deuteronomy 11. Leave this 11, 27, 26, 27. Might be, yeah.
This is Deuteronomy 11 and 26. It says, Behold, I set before you this day blessing and a curse.
So Yahweh Shem Yahushai, when we entered into that covenant, he said a blessing and a curse. All right, a blessing and a curse was set that day that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whose father's line goes back, all right, whose father's line goes back to that, we had a clause in that contract, and this was the clause. Go ahead, read it again from the beginning.
Deuteronomy 11 and 26. Behold, I set before you this day blessing and a curse. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Lord your power.
A blessing if you obey the commandments, the law, statutes, and commandments. All right. Most of you so-called Christian knows, you guys know the 10 commandments. All right. But there's 613 laws. All right. So all 613 laws belongs unto a nation of holy, peculiar people, a peculiar treasure. All right.
Which I command you this day, and a curse if ye will not obey the commandments of the Lord your power.
And a curse if you disobey. All right. You can't disobey a commandment if you were never in a covenant. All right. So we entered that covenant and then we disobeyed. All right. So this was that clause in the contract, such as any worldly banker has or any worldly businessman has. All right. You have clauses in your contracts. Why? To protect your investment. So the investment is protected. All right.
Says, but turn aside out of the way, which I command you this day, to go after other powers, which ye have not known.
God, so if you turn aside, that means if you worship any other god, all right, which are false idols, if you disobey any of the law, statutes, and commandments set forth in this book that I have for you, all right, you're in breach of contract. So the breach of contract came with the penalty. All right.
The Lord didn't, set up the Israelites to have freedom of choice of which genre of religion they like the best.
God.
He had them set one day, and that was, the contract was for him to save us out of Egypt. Then we would uphold the commandments, the laws.
God. Hey, and it's not like we chose Yahweh Shem Yahushai. He chose us. Right. All right. We can't make ourselves to be a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American whose father's line goes back. All right. That was Yahweh Shem Yahushai's will. All right. So everybody else who's not of that, it is Yahweh Shem Yahushai's will for you to be of another nation. All right. To be destroyed if that's the case. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, verse 1. And the power spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water underneath the earth.
God, you shall be nothing else. All right. You shall do nothing else. You should only do what I tell you to do. All right. Yahweh Shem Yahushai, who the world calls ignorantly God in Jesus Christ, is not a power of negotiation. He gives a fuck about what you think. All right. He doesn't care about your mom. He doesn't care about your dad. He doesn't care about you, especially if you're of another nation. All right. And being of his nation, you will be obedient and be subject.
You have a responsibility to uphold the law.
God. He said he set you above all people. All right. His nation is above all people, not some people, every single person on the planet, if you're not of the nation of Israel. Go ahead.
Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord, thy power, am a jealous power.
God, Yahweh Shem Yahushai is a jealous power, who the world ignorantly calls God in Jesus Christ, is a jealous power over his nation. All right.
Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
God, visiting the iniquity of our fathers, all right, upon the third and fourth generation.
And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
And only showing mercy unto those who he wants to show mercy unto, all right? And it's not mercy for any other nation, all right?
It's only mercy for the elect.
God. Go ahead. That was it. You have something?
Yeah, you want to stay right here?
God.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 15. It says, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
God, all these curses should have come upon thee and overtake thee if we did not obey the law, statutes, and commandments. All right, and that's exactly what happened. You're seeing us destroyed. This is the lowest state we have ever been. All right, in all of history, this is the lowest the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American man and woman and child have ever been. All right.
Drop down to Deuteronomy 28 and 36. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, and thou shalt serve other powers, wood and stone.
God, Yahweh Shem Yahushai brought us unto another nation. All right, a nation, Slakia, of the Edomite. All right, and these other heathen nations. All right, and he set these people up over us. All right, he said we weren't going to know them. We were going to bow down to their false gods. All right, why? Because we disobeyed. So Yahweh Shem Yahushai put a whooping on us. All right, go ahead.
Verse 37, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee.
God should become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword. All right, so you won't remember your heritage. You won't remember your name. You won't remember who you are and whose you are. All right, so you never knew that you were a so-called. You always thought you were a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American. All right, you never understood that your biblical nationality is an Israelite. All right.
Those words, and when you go into Psalms 83, I'll get that in a second, but they were confederate to disguise who the people on this chart, because they knew once they came into realization who they were, then they would regain the power, the power that the Lord has given them.
God, because anytime the nation of Israel, anytime the nation of Israel calls on the power, all right, and we realize and we start recognizing that we belong to Yahweh Shem Yahushai, who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ, all right, he starts supping with us, all right, but this time it was different because we reached a level of disrespect where Yahweh Shem Yahushai actually turned his back on us, all right, for a season, all right.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 16, verse 4. A wicked and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall no sign be given unto it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. And he left them and departed. And Yahweh Shem Yahushai has likened us unto a wicked and adulterous generation, because look at what we do. This is our women, our harlots, the men follow after other gods, our people do all of that. And since we continue to do that, that's why Yahweh Shem Yahushai turned his back on us and he left us in the condition that we're in for a season. That just as the brother said. God.
The men don't know how to lead properly.
God.
Because
men are pussy, but they're spineless.
Because due to Esau's rulership, he reversed the roles of a man and a woman.
Hey, that's the whole Willie Lynch mentality. All right. Due to Willie Lynch and his brilliant design. All right. Due to the whole Anglo-Saxon, all right, due to this whole system that was set up essentially by Yahweh Shem Yahushai, all right, but the so-called white man, all right, for the destruction and the downfall of the nation of Israel, all right, and all you other heathen nations that followed him,
right.
All right, being confederate.
That trauma, has stuck with the Israelites, through generations. The trauma of being, shipped as cargo, across, out of Africa, for the Southern Kingdom.
God, the Stockholm syndrome,
the Trail of Tears, all these offenses, of our people, they cause that mental trauma that stayed with us.
God, right? So after generation and generation of being beat down, all right? That's why you have the slave Bible, all right? The slave Bible, the so-called white man is the devil that the Bible speaks of, all right? If you belong to the nation of Esau, Edom, which is the so-called white man, if you're a white man, woman, or child, you are some of the most wicked people on the fucking planet, all right? Thus saith the Bible. All right, but 2/3 of our own nation, all right, follow fucking after you.
The Bible states that your people are the wicked.
God.
You know, your people are the ones, you know, destroying this whole entire world.
God. Hey, America came about through the so-called white man. How? Rape, robbery, and murder. All right? Just as you've seen in, what is it, January 6th? All right? Afraid of losing their power. All right? Because they know this kingdom is going down. I'm sorry, this queendom. Because it's ran by a bunch of bitches. All right? It's ran by a bunch of bitches, and they act just like bitches. All right? Never standing up to their word. All right? It is women who are wishy-washy. All right? Who don't keep their word. Only time a woman keeps her word is when she's made to keep it. All right?
You know, a woman will never truly, you know, admit that she was wrong in anything.
Right. She always got a closet. Well, what had happened was
that maybe I shouldn't have done it.
Right.
But don't want to
take the ball.
God, don't want to own up your own book. I gotta read it. This is Isaiah 45:15. Verily thou art a power that hidest thyself, O power of Israel, the Savior.
God, the power of Israel hideth itself from us.
Go down 16. It says, they shall be ashamed and also confounded, all of them together. They shall go to confusion together that are makers of idols.
Huh. Hey, that's 2/3 of our own people are going to be confused with the devil. All right?
But Israel shall be saved in the Lord, Yahweh, with a Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, with an everlasting salvation. Ye shall not be ashamed nor confounded, world without end.
God. So the 1/3 won't be confounded. 1/3 of the nation of Israel will not be confounded because they stand stiffly and strong for the name of Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. All right? And then the rest of the 2/3 of the nation of Israel, all right, will come back through the loins of the 1/3.
Right.
All right? So that means our whole nation will not be ashamed anymore. All right?
This is the book of Job, chapter 30, verse 8. They were children of fools, yea, children of base men. They were viler than the earth. Verse 9, and now I am their song, yea, I am their byword. Verse 10, they abhor me, they flee far from me, and spare not to spit in my face.
I think there's a little bit. Read the next one down.
Verse 11, because he hath loosed my cord and afflicted me, they have also let loose the bridle before me.
God, there's one more. Yeah. I think it's like, it might be two more.
Yeah, that's the first one. Upon my right hand rise the youth, they push away my feet, and they raise up against me the ways of their destruction. Verse 13, they mar my path, they set forward my calamity, they have no helper. Verse 14, they came upon me as a wide breaking of waters. In the desolation they rolled themselves upon me.
God, all right, because we disobeyed the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. We waxed worse and worse. All right,
and in doing so, that led to our,
led to our downfall.
God. And that, that's why the so-called white man is over us. He's Yahweh Bashim Yahushai's sword on the left-hand side. He's our whipping stick. He's the whipping stick of the Most High.
God, all right, the whipping stick of the Most High is the so-called white man and these other nations. All right, but chiefly, all right, Esau, Edom. All right, you got to pray. They had to vacate the premises. It's too much fire coming out. Couldn't let their daughters hear that. They had to go around the corner.
No, they're right there.
That's what I'm saying. They had to go around the corner.
That's pull that real
That's the
quick.
power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua.
Let's get that in there.
Get out of my sight. You know?
They was over here getting cut, you know.
They got quiet for a second.
Yeah, they got quiet. All their daughters came up and
they were
everything.
talking.
And
And
we can't have, that's their reaction to critical race theory.
God,
you know?
hey,
Is get them out of here. Now we want our kids homeschooled.
God.
You know, because they can't know what they great grandparents did. You know, for them to be in the position that they are in now.
Right.
You know, hey, real quick, can you grab I had a few script. I'm right here. Grab Isaiah 14:26.
All right, I was just
Then I got Hebrews 4.
Isaiah 14:26.
Yeah, I got it right here.
You want to pull Revelation?
Huh?
You said you had Revelation.
I got both of them.
All right.
This is Isaiah 14:26. It's gonna be 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land nor fill the face of the world with cities.
God, prepare slaughter. All right. Prepare slaughter for your children. All right. Slaughter for your children. All right. The same way you slaughtered the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American man, woman, and child. All right. So thus saith the Bible. Read it again.
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
For the iniquity of their fathers. That means your great, 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 great grandpappy, all right, and the abominable shit he did, along with his whore-ass wife that she did, all right? Prepare slaughter. Matter of fact, read down on that. It says,
verse 22, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, saith the Lord.
God. So Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, who the world calls ignorantly God, Jehovah, all right, Yahweh, and his son, all right, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shai, all right, said prepare slaughter for their children, all right, and then he will cut off your lineage. He will cut off, there will be no sons, there will be no uncles, and there will be no brothers after 1,000 years of captivity in the kingdom of heaven, all right? There will be no sons of the so-called white man. There will be no uncles of the so-called white man. There will be no brothers of the so-called white man. All right, because thus saith the Bible, you will be cut off and your lineage will be no more. God.
this goes to the Edomites of the lineage. Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
He who leads into captivity shall go into captivity. All right? You so-called, you other nations in its entirety being Confederate. All right? Psalms 83. All right? Being Confederate against the nation of Israel, you led us into captivity. Therefore, you will go into captivity. This is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right? This is not a racial thing. All right? It's not black or white. This is not Michael Jackson. All right? It's not either or. It is a bloodline thing, such as in the song of Black and White. All right? It's not the color of your face, it's where your blood is, where your blood comes from. All right? So the blood of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American man is the blood of the Israelites. All right? Whose father's line goes back. All right? So the African, all right, whose father belongs to Ham, all right, his ass is going in slavery too. Get there. Ethiopian change spots.
I got it.
God.
Ethiopians from Hamite too, right?
Huh? God.
Yeah, okay.
Can the leopard change spots? And the Ethiopian change the skin. God.
This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 28, verse 1. The wicked flee when no man pursueth, but the righteous are bold as a lion.
God. The wicked flee when no man pursue it. All right? The wicked fled. All right? They fled. Nobody wanted to stand up. All right? And half of those people were so-called Christians. I'm sure of it.
Right.
I'm sure of it. All right? Nobody wanted to plead their cause or plead their case. Why? Because, as the brother said, these words cut. All right? Cut, piercing unto a bone and sunder.
This is Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit.
God, soul and spirit. All right? So these words of who you call ignorantly God or Jehovah, all right, Yahweh, or ignorantly call his son Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai, all right, divides your body and your spirit with the truth. All right? Showing you that it doesn't matter what your body is, but what your soul is, and that your soul is telling you a lie. Salakia, that your body, all right, your spiritual self, Salakia, your physical self is telling you a lie, but your spiritual self is recognizing it and running away. All right? Have to vanish. All right? Like ninja vanish.
Hey, that's like when Yahweh Shai comes back, some people are gonna give up the spirit just by witnessing.
God.
So Yahweh Shai is the word. All right. So that word is that powerful as well. Just as powerful as the word can make you wake up, it could make you die too.
God.
If that's your lot.
Right. That's it. Hey, that's why they're saying the truth hurts.
Right. The word of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai can do, can pretty much do anything that's beyond thinkable,
God. Hey, it's a twofold, because you have the truth hurt, all right? And no one, what is it? Tell the truth and it'll set you free.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
The truth will set you free.
All right. The truth will set you free. All right. Or you can die.
Right.
Because it hurts so much. I gave up the ghost.
Salvation or
damnation.
Or your demise,
God.
From you not hearing and coming back to repentance. Let me finish that real quick. I'm gonna start back at the top. Hebrews 4 and 12. The word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit and the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart.
Discerner of thoughts and intents of the heart. Discerner of thoughts. See, their thought was that everything was okay. We're going to sit here and laugh at these guys. All right, we're going to look at it. Our daughters are going to look at them. We might make fun of them or poke at them and talk amongst ourselves.
But they're going to get in that car and be like, she might ask the question and they're going to be like, no, we're not talking about that right now.
Right.
They're going to shut it down real quick because they don't even have an answer to it.
God.
Because they've been trying to avoid that question too.
Hey, they had the luxury of avoiding it for many years in their generations. All right? Hey, the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, up into the mid-90s, all right, was good for Esau Edom. All right? Everything was popping, especially in the 60s and 70s. All right?
Before that.
Right. Well, before that, indefinitely.
Think about how good they were living in after the Great Depression.
God.
Not during the Great Depression.
Shit, they were still living better than Jake.
Right. But especially when they had all them, what are they called?
Industrial.
The bars and shit underneath the ground.
No, Prohibition.
Yeah, but they had all those I don't know what they call it.
Taverns.
They had like them distilleries and shit. Man, it's like what's that movie with Eddie Murphy, Harlem Nights?
Yeah, Harlem Nights, and then you got what's the one with Lawless? With Shia LaBeouf, where they're moonshine runners.
Right. You know, they was doing their thing. Y'all had your time to live lavishly, you know, but that time is up because that was the devil being loose for a little season.
God, right? So you had all this time that you were living in the fatness of the earth. Life was good. All right, life was great. All right. That's why you had what is it? The whole housing, the whole what do they call it?
They marking with the blue, red. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Where the equal housing, or before that, the redlining.
Yeah.
Right? Redlining, where you didn't have, hey, you stayed in your own neighborhood. All right. Hey, when you had segregation on and popping, it was on and popping for you.
That
all
was
right.
Like that's that movie, or not the movie, but that series on Prime.
God.
You know, with the black family that moved, the so-called Judite family or black family that moved into they moved from
Alabama
to was it
California?
I think it was Compton at the time.
Compton, California.
Compton was an all-white
establishment.
Right.
It was a genderfied neighborhood.
And that show, I forgot what it's called. Green. No. It's a show on. It's kind of like a scary.
Yeah.
It's like a scary sitcom, but it shows like how they move into an all-white family or all-white neighborhood, and the neighborhood was going crazy. They was killing their dogs and just trying to make it uncomfortable for them to move because they was like, oh, there goes the neighborhood.
God.
And they was down to do anything that to
get them out of there.
That's right.
Hey man, that goes back into, I don't know if y'all remember that movie. Y'all might be too young, but that movie of Pleasantville. All right. Pleasantville was a movie that was in black and white. All right. Most of the movie was in black and white, but what started happening is they started waking up. All right. And it started coming into color.
Yeah.
What did that mean? All right. The color started coming into the neighborhood. All right. It's a psychological movie. All right. But you got to have the spirit to discern. All right. Look at it from a spiritual eye, such as you should with everything, especially all these movies. All right.
This is Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 10. All they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become as weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Verse 11, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials, the worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee.
God, so the worms are covering this place. All right, America. All right, aka Sodom and Gomorrah, aka Rome 2.0. All right, aka Egypt. America.
This place is becoming dump.
It's dump and it's rotten.
And it smells.
All right, that's what dumps do. Dumps smell like shit. All right, it's unclean. Everywhere you walk, you see trash everywhere. All right, being that you see trash everywhere, it's a representation of what the land is and what the land is ran by. Trash. All right, trash all the way across the board. All right, here it is. You have trash cans everywhere. All right, but this place is still fucking filthy.
It's a thing for a time that people would come here and live the dream and find out just how
They did live the dream.
Yeah, they did, but now it's
right. They live the dream because the dream is do as thy will. Come to America and do what the fuck you want. All right.
Since the pandemic, it's just increased pollution.
God.
Now you got masks everywhere, and they was dumping ventilators in the ocean.
Right. Hey, they was
that.
at that Slucky at the dump. They had a brand new. When there was a so-called shortage of ventilators, they had brand new ventilators in the dump in like 4 or 5 states. Why? Because 2 or 3 numbers on the ventilators were off. All right, so they had to trash them and start all over. All right, goes to show you that they don't care about nobody. Esau, Edom don't even care about his own people, let alone you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. All right? If your father's line go back, but even if your father's line doesn't go back, and you're a Mexican-covered Edomite, all right, or a Mexican-covered Chinese man, or whatever heathen nation you belong to, all right, they don't even care about you. All right? Go ahead, Salaki.
I was just saying, read an article and they say that they're taking radiated waste from Idaho and dumping it here in Nevada.
Of course. Why? Because we got Yucca Mountain. All right? Yucca Mountain. Everything is yuck. All right? Hey, but there's no place than Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? It's already filthy. It was a little bit more filth.
I don't think they still, claim that water.
There's green water coming in North Carolina. They got green water coming out their water stuff.
That sickness, was out in the wastewater out here,
God. Hey, you can't even, in truth and honesty, you can't even dig for water in Nevada. If you dig for water and you hit water, all right, you have to cover it up. Why? Because of all the pollution and all the radioactive tests that were done in Nevada. All right, that's why Nevada tends to cover up their natural springs. All right, and most parts of the valley.
And the roots in the ground here are just so acidic you can't grow anything here.
That's why it's rocks.
And that show was called The
Okay, this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 12. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations?
God, so how did this? Okay, you pulled that a little bit early, but it's all right. How did this Babylon? All right, how did America and all its privilege, all right, and all its beauty, and everything that it offers, all right, to being what they called it at that time, heaven on earth, all right, come over to the land of America, all right, live the American dream.
They were advertising free land.
Right. I was just about to go far and away.
Right. I was trying to think of
free land. Come on over to America. Give us you're tired, you're hungry, you're sick, and you're poor. All right. So we can keep them even more hungry, tired, sick, and poor. All right. Give us your trash. Once again, give us your trash, and we'll be a nation founded on trash.
Right, because pretty much everybody was sending their slaves to America.
Right. They're slaves and they're criminals.
Even if they were of a other nation, the majority of them were Israelites, no matter where they came from.
God.
But they were getting all the the lowest of the low.
Hey, just like they did in Australia. How Australia was founded. All right.
Right.
Australia was a colony for criminals, prisoners.
Basically a prison system.
That's all Australia was. And that's all it is today, really. Who's running it? Crooks and criminals. Their lineage goes back.
And the reason why, your system is falling is because your time is up.
God.
The time for your rulership is up. Therefore, you are being exposed.
God. No, just stiff.
So you're being exposed through yourselves and through especially the elect, on this side, those who prophesy against Mount Seir.
Micah 2. After you pull. Salakia.
It's not. There's another one.
This is the book of Micah, chapter.
You got it?
No, I don't got it.
Oh, okay. Salakia, go ahead. I thought you said you had it.
This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand because it is in the power of their hand. Verse 2.
Woe to them, all right? Woe to them that uncover, devise iniquity upon their bed, all right? Woe to those leaders who sit there and say, you know what? Today I'm gonna figure out how to put hell on these so-called, not to them, all right? To them, we are Negroes or niggas, all right? Mexicans, all right? And Native Americans, all right? Or any other byword that they choose to give us. But they continue to put that hell on us, and they continuously devise. They continuously, what is that? That summit, you know, all unrighteous decrees, such as the laws that are set forth in this land and lands around the world that Esau Edom runs. All right. That's why you have that, you know, YouTubers going around the world and say how it is, how you get treated when you're in China and you're black. You know, how to be treated when you go to Mexico and you're black. Go to Spain and you're Mexican. You know, this is how they treat you. All right. Why? Because that shows the confederacy. All right, amongst all these nations.
The deal that they all got together.
Huh?
The deal that they
yeah,
all
is that Psalms 83. Go ahead with that, and then
Micah chapter 2, verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage.
John, they oppress a man in his house and even his heritage. All right. America was founded on rape, robbery, and murder. All right. That's what America did. America came by, all right, got everything that they have by rape, robbery, and murder. All right, and continued this rape, robbery, and murder as a regiment to success.
They go to way to conquer, other nations, and it worked.
And they do that all the time. All right,
it worked because they had the power of the sword. They have the military might.
Hey, you guys see yourself on the sign? So-called Native American, so-called Mexican, Puerto Rican. You belong to the nation of Israel. You're a chosen people. You're who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. All right? Come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Flock it. I said, you got tongue twisted, but the water.
This is Nahum 3:1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not."
Yeah. Woe to the bloody city. It's that bloody city that made, that made this city. All right. This is that bloody city. That bloody man made a city. All right. And that city is America.
It was, as Brother brought out earlier, it was founded on rape, robbery, murder. That's that blood. And the prey. Who's the prey?
You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, first and foremost.
Right. Y'all love to live here,
right,
and take part of this society, which wasn't meant for you to, to cleave onto.
God.
And let me drop down on that. This is Nahum 3:4. Because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcraft.
Hey, read that again.
Because of the multitude of whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, the mistress of witchcrafts that selleth nations through her whoredoms and families through her witchcraft.
Hey, this is the favorite harlot. All right. Hey, repent and come back to Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you're so-called Mexican, Latino, and Native American. You are the chosen people. All right? You're the chosen people who the world ignorantly calls God and Jesus Christ. Well, say, hey. He's Persian and British. All right? He would still, being a Persian and British, would make him what? Make him of a heathen nation. All right? But if his father's line goes back to a so-called Native American, Latino, or Latino, Native American, or Negro, he would be of the nation of Israel. People go into my heritage is of a speckled bird.
Because there's a lot of Israelites inside of Ishmael.
God, right? That's what I was at.
God. Let me finish this real quick before you grab it. Verse 5, it says, "Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame."
God, Yahweh Shem Shai said he will discover thy skirt. All right? Basically, he's going to expose. All right? He's going to expose who the devil is. All right? Expose the decrees, the decrees and the backdoor deals that they have. All right? With all these other nations. All right? And what they have done to this nation, the nation of Israel. His nation. All right?
Right. And that shame, then coming to realization, that, Esau, Edom primarily coming to that realization that they not who they think they is, and that, they're going to have to pay for the things that they've done.
God. That everything is not that everything is not A-okay. All right? That this American dream, all right, is not the end all be all. All right? The world is starting to see that there is a problem. All right? You just had what? Go ahead. Jesus. There's many problems going on. We're going to get into that.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 12, verse 9. "Mine heritage is unto me as a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. Come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour."
God, so Yahweh Shem Shai said his heritage is unto him as a speckled bird. All right?
That's because our people are mingled amongst all the other nations.
Right. So it was mingled amongst the other nations. All right. So you could look like a so-called white man. You could look like a so-called Persian man, or a so-called Persian woman, or a so-called white woman. All right. Or any other heathen nation. All right. But your heritage goes back. Your heritage, if your heritage through your father's line goes back to a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, hey, you're blessed. You're blessed beyond measure. All right. You are of the chosen line. All right. God.
Hosea 1 and 10. "Yet the number of children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass that in the place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people, there shall be said unto them, Ye are the sons of the living power."
God. So this place where we've been called everything under the sun. All right. Every byword, every negative word. All right. Whether it be coon, tar baby, wetback, Uncle Tomahawk. All right. Monkey. It doesn't matter. All right. Whether it be boy. All right. Gal. Whatever racial slurs or anything that you want to say negative.
Just in case if you're wanting the word boy, it goes back to the word slave.
You know? God.
This is Jeremiah 50 and 33. "Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, and all that took the captives held them fast. They refused to let them go." Oh, sorry, I pulled it wrong.
That's right.
They refused to let them go.
God.
I was thinking in the land they shall remember. So that's
yeah. But hey, that's the spirit that came out, because hey, we were oppressed together. All right, and still are oppressed together still today. All right, and before, back in the 80s, all right, back in the 90s, from the 70s through the mid 2000s, all right, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American relations were horrible. Horrible. All right? Getting all types of gang violence and everything. And why? Who was that perpetuated through? Esau, Edom. All right? All the psyops. They go into neighborhood, have gang violence, and they would use undercovers, all right, to go and start rivalries. All right? And really, how did the gang start? All right, looking for a family, looking for a brotherhood. All right? Women wanting to be around women of their nation. All right? Gangs weren't a negative thing until E got his hand in them. All right? Because it goes back, it goes back to tribalism. All right? Your so-called your gang colors, all right, are likened unto a tribe. All right, whatever set you claim. All right, that's your tribe. But you have a heritage tribe. And it's the only tribe, your tribe matters. All right? Your tribe matters. Because your tribe belongs to a nation. The 12 tribes of Israel is one nation. Right. Yeah, something. All right. God.
All right, this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 3, starting at verse 40.
Hold that. Go ahead and pull Baruch.
Now, this is Baruch 2 and 30. For I knew they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
Khan, yeah, how about Shimei Al-Shai said, we will remember ourselves in the land of our captivity. This is the land of our captivity. All right? That captivity was here. All right? The transatlantic slave trade. All right? Transatlantic slave trade.
Transatlantic.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna try to say it again. I'm getting tongue twisted. All right. And then on top of it, when you had slaves coming in, you had the southern nation, all right, the southern nation coming in, you had the northern nation going out and being shipped abroad. Right? Because we can't have the people who are over here, can't have too many of them just sitting around. Right? We gotta split this shit up. All right? Go ahead.
This is Lamentations, chapter 3, starting at verse 40. Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. Verse 41. Let us lift up our heart with our hands unto Yahweh in the heavens.
Let us lift up our heart with our hands. All right? Our heart being our mind and our hands to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right? So that we can remember who we are. All right? Matter of fact, you want to pull that in Baruch? Again. Hold it.
Oh, the same one?
Yeah. Yep.
Now, this is Baruch 2 and 30. It says, for I knew, I'm going to start up at 29. It says, if ye will not hear my voice, surely this very great multitude shall be turned into a small number among the nations, where I will scatter them. It says, for I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people. But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
In the land of their captivities. All right? Multiple captivities.
Right. Even I mean, because it all goes back to Egypt. You know,
God.
that was the first captivity, right?
Yep.
So what does that mean? That they were told who they were, you know, in Egypt.
God.
You know.
Yep. And even the multiple captivities. Nebuchadnezzar.
That's where the covenant happened.
God.
You know, that's where it sealed the deal. You know, you are my people. You know, just like you know, we're coming back in remembrance out here that we are the power's chosen people.
God. All right. Go ahead. Start again.
Book of Lamentations, chapter 3, verse 40. Let us search and try our ways and turn again to the Lord. 41. Let us lift up our heart with our hands unto Yahweh in heaven, in the heavens. Verse 42. We have transgressed and have rebelled. Thou hast not pardoned. 43. Thou hast covered with anger and persecuted us. Thou hast slain. Thou hast not pitied.
God. Thou hast slain and thou hast not pitied. All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai didn't give these devils to have pity on us. All right. Because we had no respect. All right. For his law. No respect for his ways.
Verse 44. Thou hast covered thyself with a cloud that our prayers should not pass through.
Right. So that our prayers were being blocked. All right. Because once we started receiving that hail, all right, on a massive scale, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, hey, we used to receive hell. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai used to, put us in the corner in retrospect. Go ahead and get your ass in the corner. Small little captivities. All right, in comparison to this last captivity. All right, this last captivity, we got an ass whooping. All right, continual ass whooping. All right, and then we also grounded. All right, we grounded. We can't go nowhere. We didn't. It never let up. Hey, you know how your parents might end your punishment early when you got grounded? All right. Hey, not our Father. not our Father. All right. His word will not return unto him void. All right. He gave us a specific time and a specific reason why it was done. Now, endure thou like a good soldier. All right.
Verse 45. Thou hast made us as the offscouring and refuse in the midst of the people. 46. All our enemies have opened their mouths against us. 47. Fear and a snare is come upon us, desolation and destruction.
Fear, all right, fear has came upon us. And this is not talking about the fear of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. This is talking about the fear of these other nations. This is talking about the fear of the conditions that you were in. This is talking about fear of death. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, fear not. All right. He was talking to the nation of Israel when he said, fear not. All right. There is only one thing we should fear. And that's the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. And that is Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. It's pure, raw power. Go ahead. Read that again.
Verse 47. Fear and a snare is come upon us.
That snare, Salakia, the snare that has went upon us, all right, is believing that we're not who we are. Believing that we belong to somewhere else, or that we came from monkeys, all right, that we rose up out of the sea, all right, the regular sea, all right, and we evolved. Believe in a critical, evolution and critical race theory.
Verse 48, my eye runneth down with the rivers of water for the destruction of the daughter of my people.
Destruction. Did you skip?
No, that was verse 48.
So the destruction, the eyes run it down with the destruction of the people. Why? Because we have went astray. All right. His whole heritage, all right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's heritage has been polluted.
Verse 49, mine eye trickleth down and ceaseth not without any intermission.
God, so what is that word intermission?
Oh,
God.
Like if you ever been to a super long movie, that was so
the
long.
The 10 Commandments had an intermission. Like it was just...
I remember I went to this Civil War movie and it had it was like 5 hours long. They had an intermission.
Yeah,
that was a short break. Now this is the intermission in that rulership from King Solomon.
God.
Verse 50. Till the Lord look down and behold from heaven.
Yeah. Go ahead. I think there's
verse 51. Mine eye affecteth mine heart, because all the daughters of my city.
God, eye affected his heart. So what Yahweh Bashem Yahushai sees, all right, affects his mind. All right. Even ultimately, it's in his mind to do. All right.
And that's Ezekiel Saying, how can these dry bones live?
God. Hey, Yahweh Shem Yahushua got bars and is very poetic. All right?
How can these people be so destroyed and malnourished, or take, from taking all this affliction? Like, how are they still even standing
God.
right now?
Hey, that's what these other nations say. All right? There was a article on that, all right, and saying how do these people, all right, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, how have they had all these afflictions all these years and still remain to this day, still remain in fairly good spirit? All right? How? That's a real article. God, hey, because that blessing, all right, today I set before you a blessing and a curse, a blessing and a curse, all right? So you knew right there when that was said in Deuteronomy 11:26. Today, this day, I set before you a blessing and a curse. He didn't say maybe it'll come to pass. He said, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse, telling you that it's going to come to pass.
This is Matthew 10:28. It says, and fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
Right. Yahweh Shem Yahushua said, don't fear them. Because, man, they only can kill the body. All right? I'll kill the body and soul.
Right. We should have fear of the Most High, because He can, keep us in this hell, which is an undesirable, condition, and then kill us, or prolong our days here to wish that we would die.
Hey, you ever have that? See that the documentaries where the guy's waiting on death row and he was like, "Man, I wish they would just go ahead and kill me. I'm just tired of being here."
Right, because that mind state that you're in, knowing that you're about to die, and then having to live, in isolation, that gets to you.
God, slowly driving them insane.
Right. That's why a lot of people that that go into prison, they come out, changed.
Right. Hey,
they don't get reproved like they say the prison system does.
Right.
It doesn't make them better. No, it makes them worse.
God. Hey, that's why they got most inmates who are on death row, all right, are on suicide watch, except for Jeff. Jeff Epstein? They didn't watch him.
Yeah.
Hey, no secrets couldn't get out.
The cameras went off, and who did they blame it on? They blamed it on Jake, and Jake, dumbass, took the fall for it.
Right. Jake said, "I'll take that bag."
He'll take the money to cover up y'all wickedness.
Right.
But they like, damn, they had to pin it on somebody.
Right.
Because they don't want to get that, let that, and everybody that spoke out about that situation, ended up dying. That's what these devils do. Like, what's his name? McAfee, John McAfee. He had a security.
Right.
They framed a murder on him, and then he just died. When he was supposed to be shipped back to the U.S. From a out of states prison. He died on the right before he was going to get transported.
Right. Coincidentally. Right. It just happened all of a sudden, just like with that Russian dude who got poisoned. I forget his name. But now they got him in jail. Oh man, Vanovich. I think it's Vanovich or something like that. But
how they got
the dude speaking
Snowden,
against Putin.
They got Snowden. To where he can't come back to America. Because he released that whole shit during Obama's presidency, how they were spying on us through their cameras.
God.
Through the cameras of your phone and your computer.
Cameras, computers, TVs,
right. Anything that had that they could connect to.
Right.
They were doing that invasion of privacy.
If I don't have a video of you, I got the microphone. Right? It ain't nothing to put a two-way device in something, you know, while you're building it. Who goes in and checks their TV? You know? I got another. They got cameras the size of pixels.
It's the book of Lamentations, chapter 5, verse 1. Remember, O Lord, what has come upon us. Consider and behold our reproach. Our inheritance is turned to strangers, our houses to aliens. Verse 3, we are orphans and fatherless. Our mothers are as widows. Verse 4, we have drunken our water for money. Our wood is sold unto us.
God, hey, our very substance, the very substance that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, gave unto the nation of Israel, and first and foremost gave it to Yahweh Shai, all right, is being sold to the very people it already belongs to. All right? Hey, can you get Baruch 4?
Verse 5,
our subject unto payments?
our necks are under persecution. We labor and have no rest. Verse 6, we have given the hand to the Egyptians and to the Assyrians to be satisfied with bread.
God. Right? The very substance of this earth belongeth unto the nation of Israel under Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. All right? It might be in 2. I believe it's in 2. Just go down. Yeah. Either down or up. Lock in. So I continue.
All right, this is Lamentations chapter 5, verse 7. Our fathers have sinned and are not, and we have borne their iniquities. Verse 8, servants have ruled over us. There is none that doeth deliver us out of their hand.
God, servants have ruled over us, all right? And those servants, that goes back to, you know, I've seen servants upon horses, they're princes walking upon the ground, all right? The servants are over us right now, all right?
This is Baruch 2 and 4. Moreover, he hath delivered them to be in subjection to all the kingdoms that are round about us, to be as a reproach and desolation among all people round about, where the Lord hath scattered them.
All right? So Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai continued this for us, all right? For us and for our disobedience. Everybody who was around about us, all right? Which are these other nations. Oh, dang it. Oh, man. There I go. I think I was in Isaiah.
This is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 1. And he said unto me, Son of man, stand upon thy feet, and I will speak unto thee. And the Spirit entered into me when he spake unto me, and set me upon my feet, that I heard him that spake unto me. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
God, how about you, Yahushai? Because we are Judas children, all right? We did not hearken unto the words of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, all right? So we got in trouble.
Right. This is the spirit right now. We're in a spirit of rebuke. Because more and more of our nation, that those 2/3 are bucking up against the truth. So as defenders of the gospel, as Paul, says, we have to defend the gospel, and prove them, give them that truth to who they really belong to, and let them know that they're wrong, and give them that opportunity of repentance.
Revelations. I was like, I just said Baruch. I thought you was asking me 11 and 3. He's there. You there now?
This is the book of Baruch, chapter 3, verse 8. Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our power.
So once again, everything in the land that belonged unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is the very universe. All right? And we are heirs. Therefore, we're being sold our own wood. We're being sold our own water. All right? The fact that you got to buy water, all right, is fucking mind-blowing. It's still to this day. All right? Something that is natural, we got to buy if you want to be able to drink it. All right, and it's still messed up.
Like they got those oxygen cars.
Right.
They use flavored oxygen.
Right.
That was the craziest shit.
You want to buy some clean air, and it tastes like chairs.
That's why, how about Shimei Al-Shai says my foolishness is smarter than your wisdom.
God.
Because like the way you make a living out here just is
folly.
You can make it off the dumbest shit.
That's the way that people truly make a living out of here. 9 times out of 10 is out of wickedness.
Right.
All right. And then what does the Bible say? Roughly paraphrasing scripture. Woe to those who put evil for good and good for evil. All right. That's no different than that's like Star Wars. All right. You got
bitter for sweet for bitter.
God, bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter, turning things upside down. All right. All these are roughly paraphrasing scripture. All right. You would think that Anakin is the bad guy. All right. When it's really Luke who's the bad guy. All right. You would think Thanos is bad when it's really the Avengers.
Right.
All right.
That's why they made it seem like Yahushua is gonna come back, save everybody.
Right.
He's gonna,
Left behind shit.
Hosea 4:6. Hosea 4:6. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, and thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power.
God, since you rejected the knowledge of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, since you walked by, all right, since you scoffed, since you mocked on the comment board, all right, since you drove by, all right, or whatever it is that you did, where you seen men out on the highways and byways calling out unto you, especially you're of our nation, all right, you're going to be in trouble. All right, you're going to be in trouble. You got to answer, because essentially all you're doing is being marked for your judgment. Hey, did Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai not say that my eyes are brighter than the sun? All right. That means I see everything. There's nothing that gets past me. God.
Says, I will also forget thy children. As they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame.
God. Hey, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai said he will change our glory into shame. All right? Our glory into shame. We were once upon a time a beautiful, peculiar treasure unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, unto a bride adored. All right, we are the woman of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right, just as a man loveth his wife. All right, on his wedding day, and he sees her, and she's just all dolled up, and she's just so beautiful. All right, she is truly wearing white. But right now, we're just like these American women wearing white that had 50 rods in them already. All right, but wearing the white dress as if she is still pure. All right, or you got your young ladies. All right, your daughters. All right, pretending that they're holier than thou when they tricking off.
You ever seen that like YouTubers that be doing those like that be interviewing people on the street?
How many bodies you
And
got?
they be having like they be interviewing their girl in front of or this girl in front of their dad and be like, "What's your body count?"
Right.
You know?
Be like, oh,
And then
none.
you know the dad like he don't even know what it means. But then she's saying none, and then yeah, she's looking like, "Oh shit,
Right.
you making me lie in front of my dad."
Right. And she knows she's guilty.
Right.
All right. And if he's any kind of father, he already know. As soon as she like, nah, none. What are you talking about, Jen?
Or he's like, "You better say zero."
Right.
Yeah, you ain't gonna because
You ain't gonna embarrass me.
right because that shame, you know, go back to the father, you know.
God.
I want to
Yeah. Go ahead.
says they eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity.
God, eat up the sin. All right. They eat up the sin of us.
Right. Because they benefit when we sin.
God.
You know, the Esau Edom get a prolonged their captivity when we go off. You know, they get a high off of it. You know, they get to keep that high position.
Right. They go back. Spiritually, they go back to the Father and say, "Look what they do. Look at these people. They're horrible. This gangster rap. These thotty women. Look at Cardi B. Look at Megan Thee Stallion.
Hey, look, they benefit off of all the sins. You know?
God.
They benefit off that savageness that they created. You know.
Right.
You know, everything, you know, they control everything in this world right now. So everything that we do that's folly and, you know, an abomination, you know, they get rich off of it.
Hey, that's the American Gangster, Jay-Z's album, American Gangster. All right. It was gangster mentality. It was created by the white and mastered by the black.
Right.
All right.
You know, and,
Deep in the bush, if the war on terror screams out, damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
right. You know, because, you know, they, you know, they push, you know, drugs in our communities, and who was benefiting off of all, you know, there's a few jakes, you know, becoming, you know, drug lords like Frank Lucas,
Right.
but who was really getting rich off that was Esau Edom.
Well, Frank Lucas got rich, but what happened? He went to the source, and then what did they do? They said, no, hold on, you got too much money stacked up and backed up, all right?
That was
Because
for,
you went to the source.
That's like more for Freeway Ricky Ross,
God.
you know. He was funding helping fund, you know, the white man's war.
God.
You know, through the drug money.
And they still put his ass in jail.
You know, the CIA was, and then what happened to the CIA? They didn't get closed down.
No, they only got bigger. All right. They became J. Edgar Hoover, all right, continued in his wickedness, all right, and continued with all these unrighteous decrees set up.
And what
Right.
they do in that time period, they created that Nancy Reagan movement.
God.
You know, to cover up, you know, the wickedness that they were doing.
Right.
So they do wickedness to try to cover up the other.
Yeah, that's why
wickedness.
all their solutions, you know, they don't do nothing but
Mask.
mask a situation, prolong it.
Right. If you tell one lie, you got to tell another lie for that lie, and that lie got to have the lie, and then you got to keep this lie going with the very lie that you told.
So now all it did was, give Nancy Reagan a job,
Right.
a more meaningful position.
I gotta fix something. Hey, I'm a movie buff, so it's lucky. I'm a movie buff, so this is a enemy of the state. Who's gonna monitor the monitor that monitors the monitor? Lies. All right, it's continuous lies that comes out of this devil's mouth. He has nothing righteous comes out of his mouth. He was wicked from the womb. Go ahead.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 42, starting at verse 18. Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see. 19. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant? Verse 20. Seeing many things, but thou observest not, opening the ears, but he heareth not. 21. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable.
God, go back to the top, because I got to break that down, because you have.
Oh, verse 18?
Yeah.
Verse 18. Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind, that ye may see.
Hear ye blind, and look ye.
Hear ye deaf.
Hear ye deaf, and look ye blind. Right? So you have to be able to hear, and you have to be able to see. Go ahead.
Verse 19. Who is blind but my servant?
Who is blind but the servants? All right? Blind, doing Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's will blindly. All right? Continuing through the faith with fear and trembling. All right? We blindly, hey, no brother up here has seen Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. None. All right? No man, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai didn't come down from the clouds, all right, from the chariot, and speak to any individual brother. But it's the fear, and we blindly follow. All right?
That let's go what we were talking about the matrix. That we're a witness, to Yahweh Shemi Shai. Even though we didn't see the physical version of Yahweh Shai, we still received his word through the Spirit. And that's like in the Matrix, in the new one, if you ain't seen it, there's a girl named Bugs, and she actually physically seen Neo, and she got woke up. And then in the on the other side, you had the new Morpheus, who he saw the code in his mirror, and the same effect happened to him where he woke up, to realization. That's the same thing with this truth. But Morpheus is like the prophets in that instance of today, because they seen, they received the word,
which is the code,
and got and received the truth,
God.
And open up to the light.
God, is that the code? All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Hey, this is an encoded, encrypted message in this book. All right, it's encrypted. All right, and starting with Apostle Tahar on down, Apostle Tahar, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakah. All right, and the elders underneath them, brothers who are teaching the same doctrine, the 144% truth. All right, got the code. All right, got the code that was given and received it. All right, go ahead, continue.
Isaiah chapter 42, verse 19. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent?
Hey, who was blind? What servant was deaf and blind? All right. Did not Yahweh Bashem Yahushai perform miracles on the deaf and the blind? Would those not be his servants? All right. Because to be of the nation of Israel, what are you? You're a servant. You're a servant of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right. And right now we serve our servants, the heathen. All right. Go ahead.
Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant?
Blind as the Lord's servant. All right. That once again, Yahweh sent Yahushai, all right, and Yahushai performed miracles for who? He didn't. Hey, there was a miracle. There was a story where a woman came to Yahushai, all right, and asked for something, all right. He told this woman, hey, fetch me a pail of water, all right, and she said, who are you, basically? You know, who are you that I should fetch a pail of water? Then Yahushai confounded her, all right, and she didn't get a blessing. She was like, and she wanted water. Then when she understood, all right, I'm roughly paraphrasing the story, all right, but when she understood that, it seems like you may be a prophet, you know, then she says, I want some of that water, because Yahushua said, I'll give you water if thou know who I was, you would have given me the water, all right, the water that I have, you would not thirst anymore. All right. Then this woman wanted the water. She wanted the water then. All right. Then he said, go get your husband. Says, I don't have a husband. He said, basically, you liar. You had many husbands. All right. So this is Yahweh. Bashem Yahushai. Yahweh gave his only begotten son for the blessings and the covenant to the nation of Israel. All right. His servants. All right. What is a king? Is a king not a servant of the people?
Because Yahushua had that living water, you know. So that's like the 2/3 rejecting this truth.
God.
Verse 20.
It's like I could have said that in a shorter way, but that's the way it was coming out in my mind.
Verse 20. Seeing many things, but thou observest not, opening the ears, but he heareth not. Verse 21. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable.
Yahweh is pleased with Yahushua and the work that he did. All right. And then passing the work that he did unto the men of his nation. All right. To continue the work. All right. In this time. All right. Because movie reference again, we're the Goonies. All right. Right now it's our time. Our time. Sorry, I've been on movies this week. Like, go ahead.
Verse 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. They are all of them snared in holes, and they are hid in prison houses, for they are for a prey, and none delivereth, for a spoil, and none saith restore.
God, we've been robbed and spoiled. All right? Robbed and spoiled. And nobody, all right, can deliver us out of our captivity, only Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right? That is the only way that we are going to see deliverance. The only way that we're going to get out of this is through the will and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right?
Verse 23. Who among you will give ear to this?
Who among you will hear this word that is spoken? All right? And it is only the 1/3. The 1/3 of the nation of Israel is the only one that will hear this word and receive it.
Who will hearken and hear for the time to come?
Only the 1/3 will hearken. All right? 144,000 elect men of the nation of Israel. All right? And then the rest of the multitude of men, women, and children who believeth upon the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Everybody else will not receive it. All right? And will learn death by pain or go into captivity.
Verse 24. Who gave Jacob for a spoil and Israel to the robbers?
All right? It was Yahweh Bashem Yahushai who gave Jacob. All right? Gave Jacob for their disobedience. All right? Unto the robber.
Did not the Lord he against whom we have sinned?
Why? Because we sinned. All right? Our disobedience. Being badass children. All right? Men being sodomites, daughters gathering abroad, all right? Being able to do that Aleister Crowley spirit, do as thy will, all right? Something authority over a man, your children ruling over you, telling you what you're gonna do. All right, go ahead.
For they would not walk in his ways, neither were they obedient unto his law.
Weren't obedient unto his law, did not walk in his ways. All right? We didn't walk in the ways of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. We thought we knew better.
verse 25, therefore he hath poured upon him the fury of his anger.
So the fury of his anger is we getting our ass whooped. All right, and we've been getting our ass whooped by these other nations. All right, through the will and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. And glory be to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for our ass whooping. All right, because if you have any kind of a parent is fucking you up when you go off. When your daughter's a whore, when your son is a little demon ass bastard. All right, or a little sodomite or what the fuck ever. All right, all glory be to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai for fucking us up and correcting us and bringing us back. Abaratazah, we be those men. Go ahead.
In the strength of battle, and it hath set him on fire round about, yet he knew not, and it burned him, yet he laid it not to heart.
Khan, we laid it to heart, but at a time we didn't. All right, now you're starting to understand. Now we understand. All right, to the best of our ability. Now we take heed. All right, brothers heard the word of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai through Apostle Tahar, through Apostle Ramla, Apostle Rakah, Apostle Gabar. All right, you heard this word. And hearing it from them, you heard it from the fruit of them, which essentially you heard it from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right? Let's say it on that, right?
Start back up. This is Hosea 4 and 7. It says, as they were increased, so they sinned against me. Therefore will I change their glory into shame.
God, our glory was turned into shame. That's everything we just went over. All the shame we just, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai just spoke of.
Right. You know, and you could take that, you know, go into with Isaiah 2 and 10. You know, the pride of the and lofty looks will be brought down low. You know, because when we were at top, we thought that we got consumed by that wickedness and abusing, you know, that power, forgetting who gave it to us. You know. So that's why, Daniel 4 and 17, real quick, you just you set up the basis of man. For what? For an example, you know, that you don't put, you don't get yourself into power. You know, the Lord did that. Verse 8, it says, they eat up the sin of my people, and they set their heart on their iniquity, and there shall be like people, and like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their doings.
Read that again.
It says, and there shall be like people, like priests, and I will punish them for their ways and reward them for their doings.
So it is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that will punish and reward.
Right, because he's going to cast you 2/3 out like the people, like the heathen. You know, that's you're going to get that same reward as the heathen. And for as the priest, the elect, you know, the men doing this work, you're going to get a righteous reward. You know, salvation.
Yeah.
That was it.
Hey, that's Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is a power to be feared. Hey, what do you say once again? Fear those who can not just destroy body, all right, but that who can destroy body and soul.
In hell.
In hell.
In the worst position that you could be in. You know? It's like that's the worst predicament that you want to be in. And then he gonna do it. He gonna put you at, you know, lower than the lowest space that you think you could be in, and then take you out. And make you suffer. You know, the Lord is long suffering.
God. He's book of Jeremiah chapter 10, verse 10. But the Lord is the true power. He is the living power and an everlasting king. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nation shall not be able to abide in his indignation. God. Verse 11. Thus shall ye say unto them The gods that have not made the heavens and the earth, even they shall perish from the earth and from under these heavens.
Hey, and all these other gods are going to perish. These false idols are going to perish. All right, there's not going to be any more Korean buff so-called Jesus. All right, there's not going to be any more Buddha. There's not going to be any Rock of Mecca. All right, that shit is going to be a skipping stone. All right, across the pond. All right, it's going to get broken up. All right, there's not going to be any more harlot houses out here.
Right.
All right, there's not going to be any of this abominable, wicked shit. No more crucifixes. No more women worship. All right, your mother will be back in her fucking place. All right, your wife will be back in her fucking place. Your daughter will be back in her fucking place, and your son will be back in his fucking place. All right, everybody's going to be where they need to be. The heathens are going to be with the heathens, all right, and dwell where the heathens dwell, in their lands. Israel will dwell within their walls, and where Yahweh Hashem Yahushai gives them to see fit. All right, there will be no more. You know what? I think I'm going to go hang out. I think Billy is going to come and hang out with the Israelites. They go hang out with Dairon. All right? Even though his name won't be Billy Dairon. I'm just saying, like that's the name came up. All right? If Billy is a so-called Edomite or a so-called Chinese or a so-called Arabian or whatever, all right, Persian, whatever. If you're not of the nation of Israel, you are not going to eat at the same table. We are not cut from the same cloth. All right? It is not meant to be. Everybody has a place and there is order. And you will be in order. We will be in order. The world will be in order. The trees, the worms, the cats, the dogs, the frogs, everything will be in fucking order. All right? This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 8, and verse 11. Because sentence against an evil work is not exceedingly slacking, executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of man is full to set in them to do evil. All right? Though a sinner do evil in 100 times, and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be with thee, them that fear Yahweh, which fear before him. All right? Just because you see the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans in a low state whose father line goes back. All right? Just because you see them in a low state and you've been doing wickedly. Chiefly Esau, Edom. All right, and you see all these people above the nation of Israel, doesn't mean that we're always going to be in this condition. All right, remember, this is a punishment for us. All this is a punishment for the disobedience. Yes, sir.
First Colossians 1 and 17, it says, and he is before all things, and by him all things consist, and he is the head of the body, the church, who is the beginning, the firstborn from the dead, that in all things he might have the preeminence, for it is pleased the Father that in him should all fullness dwell.
Hey, God. Hey, pursuing to, what is it, Matthew's 3? This is my son whom I'm well pleased.
Right. Verse 20, and having made peace through the blood of his cross, by him to reconcile all things unto himself. By him I say, whether they be things in earth or things in heaven.
God, all things.
All right. And get brought back to the way that they were supposed to be. You know, through Yahweh Shai.
God.
You know, through the mediator. You know,
Lifeline.
Right,
To live in water.
right. Because he's gonna restore that. He's gonna be the general in command. To restore everything back to the way that they were supposed to be. He said, "From all things consist." And since he was part of the main power that created things, things from in earth and in the heavens.
God.
He's gonna be the one to bring back everything.
God. Hey, what did it say? Roughly paraphrasing scripture. When Yahweh spoke worlds into existence, I was there with him. I was yet his daily delight. All right. God. Pulling that right up.
This is Matthew 28 and 18. And Yahweh Shai came and spake unto them, saying, all power is given unto me in heaven and earth.
All power. Hey. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is all power. All right. Yahweh gave Yahweh Shai all power in heaven and in earth. All right. Heaven being the firmaments. All right. Both. All right. Both firmaments. Whether it be outer space. All right. Or whether it just be this so-called blue sky. All right. How about Shemi Awashai that all things consist of him and by him and for him.
You were made for him and by him.
Sure. Yeah, no, that's what it is. All right. We go hit. Let's get this charagma. Because this is a charagma is what we going into. I gotta free something. But this the charagma is what we going with. Hey, that charagma is barking. It is barking loud, very loud, and very clear. All right. If you don't believe that that's the charagma now, hey, you stay tuned. I was gonna add a script that kind of God. Go ahead.
This is Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 15. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, concerning the prophets that prophesy in my name, and I sent them not, yet they say, sword and famine shall not be in this land. By sword and famine shall those prophets be consumed.
Hey,
it's very similar to how, who from IUIC Bishop Nate used to say, it's June, ain't no microchips. That's June. And yet here it is.
Hey, sword and famine. Sword and famine is relevant. Yes, it's very relevant. All right. This judgment, judgment is being popped out like popcorn.
All right. It's $200.
What'd you say?
The meat is no longer $5; it's $200.
Right.
For certain places in the states like Virginia. Yeah.
That's why it says, Apostle Tahar spiritually deemed this year the year of turning.
Yeah, because everything is getting turned up to the will and power of Yahweh Shemi Al Shai. Y'all thought this was you thought you were in a good case. Victory was so cheap upon earth.
We knew that, but see, right now the prices of things are bearable.
Right.
They're still bearable, tolerable. You could get by. People are not.
You're not filling up the refrigerator anymore.
Right, but you're not really. The majority of people are not really sweating.
Right.
But when it comes to that point, hey, that scripture gonna be, damn. I should have stocked up while I had the chance.
Right.
Now I can't go to work no more because I didn't take that thing.
Right. Hey, and don't think just because they didn't approve it this time, all right, that it won't be back up in another shape or form, or that they won't give an incentive, all right, in some way, shape, or form for Icky Vicky to be a standard.
Because and they're disguising the MOTD, and they're pairing it up with the Crown, the Crown Vic.
Biden, he's trying to have these mandates. He's trying to have it forcefully pushed, regardless of what the states say and the Supreme Court say. He's just trying to get it out there as soon as possible.
Hey, one way or another. All right, this is all Bible prophecy. It has to come. We know it's gonna come. Though it tarry, wait for it.
He's telling Biden's telling all these businesses to go ahead and give your employees that regardless of what the state and government say.
Oh yeah, today they were firing the On party. They don't want to join the party. They were firing them today. That was Nike.
Right. And they say, whatever they say, but now you could get sick, and then this happened with my one. She got sick, and then her job, told her to come back, and she not jabbed up either. They told her to come back before that time period.
Right, because hey,
they called her in early. Actually, it was like, and she didn't even get a negative test result back.
God. Hey, and that's because these businesses are hurt. All right, these businesses that are losing out. All right, and their numbers are not as high and everything. They need all hands on deck.
All right, make that make sense now, because now if you're jabbed up and you get sick, they don't care. They tell you to come in anyway.
Right.
If you're not dying, they tell you to still come in. Now, what happens when you work with somebody, that goes against their whole philosophy?
God.
If you don't have the juice and you're immune to it, and you bring back results showing that you're immune and you don't have it, they get rid of you still.
God, full revelation. Yeah. Start at 14. Yeah, 2.
This is book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 14. And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image of the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live.
God. So that miracles that you see, and you're seeing Elon Musk, here's Neuralink. All right, you're seeing all these AI robots. All right, metaverse. You're seeing all this technology and these miracles, these self regenerating robots.
Speaking by, it's showing that virtual reality, that VR system that Zuckerberg, pushing out, it's getting more popular.
God, and he's giving them out, some of them free. Right. All you do is fill out a survey or whatever, whoopty whoop whoop whoop, and you deem necessary. All right, and it's mostly to the younger kids. Why? Because he's prepping you.
Right, and what's gonna happen when he shut off services unless you get there?
Right.
People are gonna be so addicted to that shit because they don't know how to live a regular life. Because they don't want to be they want to do everything, inside closed doors, and they don't want to actually have to physically go out and do anything. Because of the laziness.
Yeah. Look at Wally. Wally. All right.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah,
that's exactly what they want to do. Just like Wally. All right. Make you lazy and fat. Stay in the house. All right. Take it back to Surrogate, where you stay in the house, a live version of Wally. The only thing that wasn't done on Surrogate is, hey, they had to eat. All right. Wally had to eat. What did they eat? Well, what did they do with the people on the ship? Anybody ever think about that? They put them in the furnace? No.
They're gonna be feeding you their own concoctions like that.
What is that movie? When they're on the train. Oh man. Yeah.
He's fight through the train. He has to fight all the way to the front.
Yeah, he has to fight all the way to the
I
front
know
of the
it's the
train.
guy who played Captain America.
Yeah, he played Captain
It's Snow something.
Yeah,
But I know, I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about. No, I get it right now.
Snowpiercer.
Something like that.
Go ahead, look at her.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Let me see. What is the guy name who played Captain America?
Man, I don't know. I hate Captain America.
Let me see.
I
I'm gonna do this.
do. Yeah, but hey, those are those miracles. All right, you got Neuralink. You got these wicked Jakes out here. You had that Jake that said knew I was a tattoo artist, and now I got a new Karagma service where you can get, because this is the wave of the future. You know, hey, this is the wave of the future.
Snowpiercer. Snowpiercer. It's on Netflix.
All right, this is the wave of the future. The future. Look, in Sweden. All right, it's already being done. All right, they continue these things. All right, go ahead. Yeah, oh, and Slovakia. Correction from I think it was camp before, like 2 camps ago. All right, when it's talking about the image, all right, the image, the first original image, all right, is of the beast system is not Caesar Borgia. All right, that is not. It is not Caesar Borgia. It is a deeper history that we have to go into, but we're not going to get that right now. But I wanted to correct myself. That original beast is not Caesar Borgia. All right, it has something to do with it, but it is not Caesar Borgia. All right, and Lord willing, we'll do a lesson this week, or in camp next week. We'll go into it a little bit more in detail. All right, but I did want to bring that out while I was on my mind.
Verse 15, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
All right, so if you don't worship, all right, this image, all right, this image that can perform these miracles, is AI. All right, that is the image that is speaking loud and clear to everybody. All right, you see this image of AI everywhere in everything. All right, through your banking system, through your grocery store, all right, through your children's toys, through your video games, everything. There is not a place where that hasn't been infiltrated by artificial intelligence. All right, that's why common sense isn't common anymore. All right, because it's artificial. It's fake. It's false.
Verse 16, and he caused
just because you have wisdom of something doesn't mean you're knowledgeable of anything. All right, this is not true wisdom. The wisdom of the world is enmity with Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah.
Verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a charagma in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right, to receive a charagma in their right hand or their foreheads. All right, to be able to buy, sell, or trade. All right, so you want to go to that little party. All right, you want to talk to that little chick. All right, if you don't have that charagma, she might not want your steak ass.
Can't buy me that.
Right, you can't buy me nothing. And you simple ass jakes out there, women and men. All right, mocking and scoffing and walking by. Hey, I hope Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah gives you horrible deaths.
My friend that was in the world, he was telling me with this thing, the chicks, that are being, picky about,
Who get the box?
Yeah, off of who's jabbed up in there.
Oh, you ain't got it. You can't get this box. If you want me, you gotta,
Right.
Hey, nobody wants your steak ass
You
anymore.
know what the juices do to the yeah.
Right, it make them sterile.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, it make the man sterile and make the woman rotten.
It's some of the baby that actually had the DNA. It fucked him up because he had 2 legs coming out of his stomach.
This is not medical information. There's no medical information being spoken of. All right, there is nothing. There's certain vitamins that are deficient in people's bodies. All right.
And all this just does is make it worse for that person.
All right. Once again, this is not medical information. All right. We are not doctors. Do not have any information or anything of that kind. All right. Anything of that kind. All right. Let's go ahead and continue on that. Let's go past that.
Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the charagma, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 636.
So if you have all that, if you don't have all that, right? You're not down with the system, and you're not down with the get down to the get down.
Get down with the sickness.
All right. Hey, if they say it should be grievous, there'll be a grievous sword. All right. If you're not down with the get down, expect for it to be even rougher. If you think you got it rough now, just keep on waiting. All right. This is the year that Apostle Tahar, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, deemed the year of turning up. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai turning it up. All right. Faith will be tested and tried on even higher levels than from back when Apostle Tahar's apostles came in. All right. Alba Bivens woke up. Why? Because we're at the end of this thing. All right. So expect that flame to get that purification. All right. To get even hotter.
Just being the year of the turning. That Revelation 12:12, but how the devil's coming down with great wrath. Well, we have to turn up the spirit on his ass. We have to combat the things that he's doing, on the left-hand side with righteousness.
God, you have to be that much more in the spirit. Fast, pray, repent. Hey, you can't make it, without repentance. You can't even begin to speak unto you and ask anything of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai until you first humble yourself. Put off that old man.
Cast off that mortal thoughts.
God. All right. But that's it. Y'all got anything? All right. With that, we want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak, Badas. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to all the men, women, and children listening and learning, and the bias should double die. To the next time, this is Men of Valor Las Vegas Camp. Shalom, Wan Abba Baba.